and welcome to Two Guys Reviewing Stuff. I'm Dan.
And I'm Kurt. Today we'll be reviewing the 2011 anime The Wolverine. The American dub version premiered on G4 back in, July 2011?
I believe so. I never watched it.
But recently Netflix has picked it up and put all 12 episodes on there for you to stream. I watched a couple episodes back in 2011, but I think this was your first time watching it, right?
Yeah, I saw it and the X-Men anime pop up on Netflix under the "you might like this" category with the rest of my animes, and so I watched it through once while I was working. So I got to focus a little bit on the storyline and somewhat on like the plot itself, but really didn't get what I wanted out of it. So I watched it through again, and I got to understand the plot line and the story a little bit better, and like the character development and how the story kind of progressed. So I really enjoyed the series. I thought the character development was great and the storyline was awesome.
See, I kind of disagree with you there. I thought the character development was pretty much non-existent. It's one of the first shows that I ever remember watching thinking, God, I wish this was 3 episodes shorter, at least. And I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan. And think how many filler episodes are in Dragon Ball. I never thought that. I thought that about this. It's just brutal at points.
All right. Well, we can't agree on everything.
I guess not.
Because I thought there was a lot of...
You're wrong a lot, I guess.
I thought there was a lot of filler and OVA episodes of Dragon Ball that didn't need to be there.
There were, but I could accept them. I could deal with them. This, it just felt painfully slow to me at points. It was definitely a slog.
All right, so I'm going to go through the storyline and kind of call out some of the notable characters and the voiceover actors that voice them, and Kurt's just going to continue to hate on it.
Mostly.
The story begins 1 year ago. Wolverine, who's voiced by Milo...
Wolverine. Had to be done.
Who's voiced by Milo Ventimiglia. I can never pronounce his fucking name. Milo
The dude from This Is Us.
Yeah, so the guy that played Peter from Heroes and Jack Pearson from This Is Us. He's in Japan on a boat with Mariko, who's voiced by Gwendolyn Yee. You might remember her voice from she was Grandma in Disney's movie, the Stitch movie. And she also played, if you did watch the X-Men anime, she also played Dr. Sasaki. They're young, they're in love, they're on a boat in the middle of one of the harbors in Japan.
You know Wolverine was at least 100 and some by then. Not so young.
I know, but they looked around the same age at that point. So yes, he may have been 100 and she might have been, 20-ish, but they're young and in love. Shut up.
It's a little creepy.
It is. But okay, semantics. So what Wolverine doesn't know is that Mariko is the daughter of a triad gang boss named Shingen. So Shingen is voiced by Fred Tadasakura, who you might remember, he played Beast in the X-Men anime. He was also Deathstroke from Batman Ninja, which I thought was an excellent movie too. You didn't like that one either?
It was all right. I mean, you had Monkey Gundams pretty much.
Yes.
Monkey Gundams.
Yes. So they're on the ship and some AIM troops kind of fly up out of the water with AIM tech and absolutely shred Logan with bullets. There's holes, there's bone, there's nerves. You can see all that. He's just shredded it all up. Luckily his healing factor kicks in pretty quickly. And as he's jumping off the boat, claws out, claws out.
Snickety snick, son.
The screen turns black. So the story picks back up in New York about a year later with Logan's friend Asano. He's being attacked by some AIM troops. Asano is voiced by Crispin Freeman, who has voiced characters in over 100 different series and movies. Some notable ones were in Slayers, Dot Hack, Big O. Gotta love Big O. Naruto and Hellsing. So Logan kind of drops in and saves him from being killed because these guys are like invisible and they're shooting like an EMP at him, and it's crazy. So one of the dudes actually wraps him, dumps off the building to kill them both. Logan chumps down, digs his claws into the building, grabs Asano, and lets the other guy fall. It was pretty epic, actually.
It was pretty good for this anime.
I-
It's probably one of the better fight scenes. I'm not gonna lie. Other than later on, we'll talk about Omega Red.
Asano tells Logan about the whereabouts of his non-mutant girlfriend and sweetheart, Mariko, who was taken by her own father, Shingen. He's in the crime organization, the Kazuria, 1 year ago when he tried to kill Logan and took her, in order to arrange a marriage with this
Douchebag.
Yeah, he really was. So, I mean, not to dive too deep in too early, but pretty much this dude used AIM Tech to kill his own father to take over the organization. You kind of like learn this throughout the couple episodes, and he really is a dick. And the only reason that uh, the Shingen's doing it is because he wants to grow his own crime syndicate, basically the equivalent of we're gonna own this island together and we're gonna run it. So Hideki is voiced by Vic Mignogna, who you might remember as Edward Elric from Full Metal Alchemist. But he's one of those guys that's been in hundreds of anime and movies and just voiceover like all over the place. So Logan flies to Tokyo and infiltrates the Yoshida household.
Which I love the scene in the airport. Logan trying to go through a metal detector.
Stop. Wrong anime. That was actually in the X-Men anime. In this one, it just turns black and he is in Japan.
No, my bad. I'm getting them confused. I'm cross-pollinating.
You're cross-pollinating. So the remainder of the first episode reveals that Asano has an ulterior motive. And basically he's using Logan to try to infiltrate the gang and to take them down from the inside. So if anyone knows the Wolverine character, which I hope we all do, and different iterations on, he doesn't really follow plans well. So he pretty much jumps the wall into the compound and ends up in a fight with Shingen for Mariko's hand.
And first off, let's talk a little bit about the Wolverine character. I mean, let's face it. The dude's supposed to be like 5'2", 5'3". All right? In this anime, and this is one of the things I have a problem with, you height supremacists made him 6 foot tall at least.
He is about 6 feet tall in this one, so it definitely doesn't go by the 5'2" stocky Canadian.
For those of us that are vertically challenged, us hobbit-looking sons of bitches, it's just a little bit of a slap in the face. I mean, we're trying to get out there, get our own heroes, smash that glass ceiling, which isn't easy for us because we got to climb up on a ladder with a hammer. You ever try and swing a hammer over your head? It's not so good. But they take him, they make him tall, and that bothers me. It bothers me a lot.
He really doesn't fit the typical Logan because he's not stocky. He's really skinny and he's tall.
Yeah, you know what they say about a short, fat guy?
Hmm.
He's got big claws.
Sniggity snipe. So Shingen is an amazing swordsman, and Logan has a tough time keeping up with him. So just when he gets angry and starts going to like berserker, Hideki shoots him with this dart that renders his healing factor useless, and it paralyzes him. It's some sort of nerve toxin.
Yeah, which I mean, it only kind of negates his healing factor. It almost reminds me of I think it was the Wolverine, with Hugh Jackman, where they poison him.
The one in Japan.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's kind of the same deal. Basically, it kind of throws his healing factor off. It doesn't really completely turn it off, but it definitely slows it down. So it's kind of the same idea as that. Now, I didn't like how they had Logan in his sword fighting in this. In the comics, he's pretty much one of the best hand-to-hand and one of the best bladed weapon fighters in all of the Marvel Universe. And don't get me wrong, I mean, his opponent is both of his opponents that use swords in this are supposed to be pretty much top of the game.
Yeah.
Which I can see them being better than Logan. But they made it look like Logan was like a first day kendo student, didn't know how to use a sword, which bothered me a little bit. He was getting slapped around too easily.
I think that they overcompensated by making, Shingen like really, really badass and like, did, negate how great. Well, he disappeared there. Uh-oh.
Didn't work that time.
I think they overcompensate and it kind of negates Wolverine's, amazingness with bladed weapons. So
plus, when did Shingen learn how to use the wind scar from Inuyasha? He was firing wind scars at him.
actually, no, that wasn't him. That was Kikyo.
I thought they both did it at different points.
Oh no, he did. He did. But his wasn't as badass as Kikyo's.
I mean, if they would have maybe said that he was a mutant or something, and maybe that's why he had some powers or something, I could have swallowed that pill a little easier. But he's just supposed to be a regular Homo sapien.
I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe it's a different Earth. I mean, maybe that's why Logan's 6 foot tall. Maybe that's why this dude can do amazing feats with blades. Who knows?
I know, it's just hard for me to swallow. The gigantic agenda.
All right. So Logan is defeated and dumped on railroad tracks. Asano follows to save him, but finds Hideki's men killed, and Logan is gone. So an assassin named Yukio has revived Logan in her apartment, and they decide to team up. So she's voiced by Kate Higgins. She's been several notable characters in animes like Bleach, Naruto, Sailor Moon, and just plenty of other dubbed series. So they leave her apartment and they go to find Asano to see what happened. And they find Asano was murdered, single blade to the heart. So as they see this, they hear the police surround the building. So obviously, Logan was set up.
Yeah.
So, so as they're fleeing the building, they run into Kikyo Mikagi, voiced by Steve Bloom, who, let's face it, has literally voiced over everything. He even played Wolverine in the X-Men anime. Kikyo's also a mutant with healing factor, and he also has extendable blades that come out of his hands, except his are swords.
Does he have it in both hands, or just? I thought he only had it in the one.
He has
I can't
it.
Remember.
He does. He has it in the one, and then you get all the way to the last episode, or the second to last episode, and they're fighting, and he's like, "You haven't seen my full power," and he shoots out another one.
I forgot about the second one.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing actually. So Logan and Kikyo, engage in this fierce battle, and Logan, says, "Oh my God!" He looks at the sword, and he's like, "That's what killed Asano." So he immediately thinks that he killed Asano, and so like the police squad surround everything. Everybody's panicking, and they just kind of like split off. Kikyo runs for it to, instead of track him, go and find the shipment that Hideki's getting, and it's basically what's the word, when the future husband gives the father
his dowry.
Yes. Okay. So basically, they go and find the ship and they try to destroy the dowry, which is literally drugs and money.
What better dowry is there, baby?
I guess. So
Cash and drugs.
So as they're jumping in, you have the police involved, you have the gangsters involved, you have Logan drop in, and then out of nowhere, his nemesis from Russia,
Omega Red,
Wolverine's nemesis from Russia. So if you watch this whole series, it seems to me like one of those old school like side-scrolling fighting games, like Double Dragon, and like at the end of the first level, the boss is Kikyo, and then Omega Red, and then Shingen, and then at the end you gotta fight everybody again. So I used to love those games.
It kind of does remind me of that.
It literally played out that way.
It'd be a little better if it was a game, I think.
So Logan's fight with Omega Red takes its toll on him, regardless of his healing factor. Hideki and his men get away while the agent sees the evidence, and and so that they can use that to expose Shingen. Logan, helped by Yukio, cripples Omega Red, who is later revived by AIM, and they literally
Was it AIM?
it was yeah.
I thought it was his Russian handlers.
No, Hideki, AIM picks Omega Red up because they're like, we can use him later. And they chopper him off to the AIM laboratories, and they fix his initial box, and they give him a secondary box, and while they're working on him, you can hear him like talk like he's complete and utter trash. Like they're like, well, this will fix him for now, but he probably won't last long after the fight.
Which, I mean, what do they care? They're only looking for a fighter.
Exactly, they're looking for someone to kill Logan. Logan and Yukio are on a rooftop, and Kikyo reappears, and he wants to fight Logan again now that Logan's back to
full strength,
but he's really not. He realizes that Omega Red took his toll on him, and it sucked his energy out of him, so he's not up to full par. So he's like, I can't fight you. I can't fight you right now because you're not, at full strength.
Or if you want to be the man, you got to beat the man.
Exactly. So out of nowhere, then Omega Red gets dropped in again, and he goes after Logan. Logan, completely loses his shit after he finds out that Shingen has taken Mariko to Madripoor, which is Hideki's island. So he sniggity snipe goes berserker, slices both the boxes. Omega Red, done.
And honestly, this is kind of what I was talking about. There's just they could have trimmed 3 or 4 episodes out of this damn thing. The thing with Omega Red, it felt exactly the same. It was almost painful to watch, and I love Omega Red.
It was 2 very rushed fight scenes, and yes, Omega Red is a total badass.
And I think they did complete injustice to Omega Red in this thing.
I'll give you that.
They could have at least made, instead of doing 2 short fight scenes, just give us 1 knockdown, drag out, bad, destroy half the city, Godzilla fight scenes. But no.
I know, I'll give you that. I mean, they caused quite a bit of damage at the docks, but not on the level that they could have. Omega Red's down. Kikyo is like, you're definitely still not ready for a fight, and Logan, of course. The one part about Wolverine is he's always ready to go. He's all like, let's go. And like he's like, no.
I'd have a scrap.
I'd have a scrap.
He's Canadian, man. What do you want?
I know.
Hockey and scrapping. You throw some Tim Hortons in there, you got the trifecta.
So you, like out of nowhere, like the wind starts like pushing stuff aside, and the Blackbird just appears. And whose voice do we hear from the Blackbird?
Cyclops. And truly, truly, my favorite part of this whole show was Cyclops just being a dick to Wolverine.
Yeah, like the entire time, complaining about picking him up, saying he has to pay for gas next time, saying he's crazy for going to Madripoor, but he did, brush the chip off for a second to say, I'm glad you found Mariko, and I hope you can save her.
Because he wants Moff Jean.
True.
And Cyclops might be my spirit animal. I'm just saying. Bitching and moaning about helping everybody, but still doing it.
Oh shit, you are.
I'm Fat Cyclops.
So Cyclops drops Logan and Yukio off at Madripoor, and they get separated because of a group of pirates start attacking them, and Logan takes off, repeatedly getting attacked by criminal gangs and outlaws. And I mean, they just whoop his ass.
Well, Madripoor pretty much is just Crime Island. That's what you learn from the whole setup of everything. It's pretty much, if you're a criminal, come to Madripoor.
Exactly. That's basically how they explain it. It's literally all the criminals around the world say, "Well, you can get away with it here," and there's no law, and none of the agencies have any kind of stroke there. It's the palace, Hell Road, and just the slums. So,
It's Baltimore.
oh, it
Am I not allowed to say that?
no, it's okay. It's Baltimore. Logan bumps into a girl named Min. She helps kill several of the men um, with like throwing knives.
Yeah, she's 13, dropping bodies like it's her job.
Yeah, well, Madripoor.
Madripoor.
So Hideki unleashes this giant statue called Vedhaka on Logan, and he's literally like just a giant Japanese statue. And once his seal's broken and he's given orders, he's supposed to be like this unstoppable machine.
Which, where did he get a golem? It's a freaking golem.
I think his dad. It's Japan. I mean, it's it's there's magic.
It's just craziness.
It is. It's a little weird.
But he seemed like he could be injured, which I don't understand because he's a freaking golem. Have some consistency, people. Is he made out of clay or is he people?
Yeah.
It's the thing that drove me nuts.
So Logan and Min are on the run, running from Vedhaka. Yukio comes out and tries to rescue them. Min burns her hands because she's able to pull up a like a steam pipe.
It's a steam pipe.
And she yells at Vedhaka, and that's how she damages him. She shoots him in the eyes. Apparently that's his only vulnerability is his eyes. So I'm wondering if they were some sort of jewels, but then like when they were cracked, it looked like human eyes.
Well, that's what I was wondering, if he was some kind of mutant that they put inside a suit or what.
I don't know.
Or if he was a freaking golem.
It's creepy. Like it's like the eyes were really creepy. After all this happens, Yukio is left up top under debris, and Min grabs Logan and takes him underground. So down in the sewers, Min's allies, which are led by Master Ko,
and no Ninja Turtles among them.
This is true. Ko offers to assist Logan if he helps them liberate Madripoor. So basically, they're going to send Berserker in to cause a bunch of uproar, and they're going to come in behind him, and they're going to, go after leadership. Basically, they want to take the island back. Ko kind of briefly goes over like the origins and his past, and then they catch on to a transmission. The transmission informs Logan that Yukio has been captured by his men, and they're gonna kill her, and unless he comes to get her.
And Yukio is Ko's granddaughter. You find out through all this background information.
Yeah,
basically his son, and
it was his son, and then Shingen's
top assassin.
Yeah,
right. They got together and had Yukio, and whenever Shinzen finds out, he ain't real happy about it.
No, because he came in to disrupt the partnership between Hideki's father and Ko. They were going to share the island, and Shingen shows up and causes a bunch of issues, and then they kill them. While Ko's trying to get away, he gets injured, and he kind of goes under and starts building a revolution in the sewers.
He trains Yukio basically to be another assassin.
Yep.
It sounds like he fully intended to use her to strike at
Hideki, and to get his place back.
I think it was Hideki's father.
Yes,
he made Hideki's plan to kill him before Hideki killed his own father.
Yes,
because he wanted to take over the island, and from the way it sounded like he thought Yukio was pretty much cannon fodder. Didn't really care that she was his granddaughter. So that kind of tells you a little bit about Ko. Any means to an end.
I mean, and you do get to learn even like further on in the story that he really is just a dick and he's only out for vengeance. I mean, he has no love for anybody. His entire goal is to kill Shingen, kill Hideki's son, and take over the island.
Yeah.
So, so Logan gets some background information from Ko, and he intends to rescue Yukio. Now they have Yukio in a cube room completely built out of vibranium.
Yeah. Talk about a sticky situation. They also surround it with some miniguns,
Yes.
which is a good time. Wolverine versus some miniguns and a motorcycle. It's a little wild for a second.
Yeah. So Ko basically makes the deal with him before he leaves. You go get her. You cause this issue on Hell Road. You help us get to the Dragon Palace, and we'll meet you there. And so Yukio tries to escape herself, but then she gets knocked out. They shoot her with a trank dart, and the only way that Logan's able to get past the automated defenses is he takes out the guns. He realizes that it's vibranium, so he takes all these 50 cal rounds and causes a chain reaction on the least dense part of the room, so where the door's at.
Yeah.
And he has all these 50 cal rounds, and he pops out one of his claws and he hits the firing pin on one, and they all just at the same spot, and the door blows open.
And then Yukio is chained up, hanging from the ceiling, like a pinata, pretty much. And he throws her. Does he throw it, or does one of the bad guys throw it and miss her little? She has little chakras, or what are they called? I can't even.
I don't know. It's a sharper version of whatever.
Zenithru?
Yeah,
I think it's chakras,
something like
something
that.
like that. And it breaks her chains, lets her free, and then she ends up killing, I think, half the bad guys herself because she's not real happy with the way they treated her.
Yeah.
They roughed her up a little bit. And then both Logan and her break free.
So at that point, Logan tells her that he met Ko and that he's gonna go right up the middle of Hell Road and he's gonna get to the palace to save Mariko. So
he also tells her for the 50,000th time, "I don't care about nobody else but my girl. I ain't care what happened to anybody. I don't play well with others."
Yeah,
it gets really annoying in my mind. Honest to God, I think I heard the same thing from them 35 times.
It wasn't that many times, but it
felt like it.
So at first, Hell Road's kind of quiet. And, Yukio and Logan are on a motorcycle driving through. But then they just start getting hit with all these crazy ass weapons. First, it's people and spears. Then it's catapults and bigger spears. And then it's this giant monstrosity that's as long and as wide as the road. And it's these like giant trees turned into giant spikes. And it's like, all right, we're done.
It's a tiger trap.
And at that point they're forced to go out on foot, and after everything, and after AIM fixes up Vadhaka and reguards his eyes, he sends Vadhaka back out after Wolverine. And then they start fighting, and it is hellacious. I really felt like that fight went on way too long, though.
Oh my lord. It was like a whole episode in itself.
It was like an episode and a half.
And it wasn't even a good fight. It was like slow motion punching each other. I mean, pretty much the stupid golem was just stomping around like a chicken with its head cut off, stomping on everything. It's all he pretty much did. That and bitch slapping everybody.
Like a giant chicken. Chicken, arise!
Oh no. Mega chicken.
So in the midst of all this, Kikyo shows up in Madripoor and asks the local thugs where Logan's at, and they won't answer him. So he,
Drop some bodies, baby.
yes. So at the point where they get to the entrance of the Dragon Palace, you have Ko's army, you have Logan fighting Vadhaka, you have Yukio fighting Vadhaka, you have Kikyo show up, and Hideki basically loses his shit because Logan gets away from Vadhaka and then throws one of those darts to kill Hideki and doesn't realize he's got a force field around him. Yeah. So he gets all pissed off and he sends out the Chinty Pond thugs. So you see like 30 dudes line up across the steps with automatic rifles, and before they can even fire, Kikyo just cuts all the freaking tips off the guns.
Yeah, he definitely earned his money at that moment.
Well, he wasn't being paid technically. Technically, he
That's
was paid
true.
to kill Logan. He really just wants to fight Logan to see who's the better fighter. The fighting with Vadhaka keeps happening, and then Logan starts getting crushed under his foot, like you said, on the steps, and he is just crushed. And Logan forces him off into the wall, and then they're both gone. And everybody thinks Logan's dead. Logan's
He's made out of freaking animanium people.
I know.
Don't die.
They continue to fight Vadhaka, and Kikyo says, "All right, we're gonna get you past this, and we're gonna get you to Mariko because you're not gonna settle down to build up your strength to fight me until I help you get your old lady, basically." So he starts doing that crazy wizard magic with the dancing blades to Vadhaka, and it doesn't do anything. And Vadhaka is like firing these shoulder rockets out of his like stone rockets out of his shoulders, and
Which is a power I didn't know Golems had.
yeah, for real. So at this point, Logan kind of looks at Kikyo, and he's like give it to him again, and this is when you get to see Kikyo's double blades, and he does his magic. Vadhaka fires one of his missiles. Logan jumps over, guides it down right through Vadhaka's mouth and kills him. So apparently you can kill a magic golem.
I guess.
There was like purple and pink lights coming out. I'm pretty sure they destroyed his life force.
Well, I think in Supernatural, you had to pull the scroll out of their mouth to kill him, but
I think that's in Jewish mythology too.
pretty much. That's how you make a golem.
So everybody rushes in. Ko heads in, Logan, and they're all really pissed off because during that fight with Vadhaka, poor Min gets in the way and she ends up dying. So that fucking amps up Logan, amps up Yukio, amps up Kikyo. Apparently you don't hurt a kid. So they are all at 1,000% ready to go berserker, but they all have different,
motivations.
I'm gonna go save my old lady. He wants to go fight Shingen. She wants to go kill Hideki. Like it's crazy. So everybody kind of splits up, and what's left of Ko's army comes in, and they're fighting the goons. So it comes down to Ko starts fighting with Shingen, and then Yukio shows up. Ko gets shredded both sides by Shingen, blood everywhere. There was so much blood in this series. I loved it. Logan has to choose to either stop the wedding and save Mariko, or go finish his fight with Shingen. So he decides to go after Shingen.
Well, he also did that to save Yukio. Because Shingen was messing Yukio up pretty bad.
He was. I mean, she was throwing those knives at 100 miles an hour, and he says, ding, 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 ding. So he says, get Ko out of here, and he fights him. Come to find out, the dickhead is wearing a vibranium suit, like like Black Panthers under his stuff. So nothing's affecting him at this point.
Well, listen, you're fighting a guy who, and I think this is the episode he said it too, is the best at what he does, and what he does ain't so nice.
Did you not like that either?
Oh, I love that. I mean, let's face it, that is a Wolverine staple. And the fact that good old Milo says it in his best "I'm Batman" voice doesn't hurt.
I did like his voice for Wolverine, though. I did.
He basically did a Batman voice, though. He stole Christian Bale's whole stick.
He did.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I liked it. Don't get me wrong. It's just he did it. Let's face it. But I mean, you got to level the playing field somehow. You have Wolverine, so yeah,
But
I'd wear a vibranium suit too.
But he's already like a badass swordsman, and he's got a vibranium suit. Like, how do you defeat that?
Take his head off.
That's one of the options. So while
Best
this
option.
So Logan sustains some major wounds during this fight. I mean, he's getting torn up. Hideki tries to shoot one of those neuro darts at Logan, but Kikyo jumps in front of him and takes it.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's got the same mutant healing factor, but you got to figure like all he really wants to do is fight Logan. So he does everything he can, including taking that neurotoxin, which is going to mess him up for a while.
Well, and half the reason he took the shot too was he does have a pretty big sense of honor.
He
said that the fight right now is between those two. You can't get involved.
Yeah, he gets pretty pissed off, and he slaps the gun out of Hideki's hand, and then this is where Hideki takes Mariko to the catacombs where his dad's at, and again, fucking gross. And then he sets the building to self-destruct. So literally, it's them in the catacombs, in the crypt, and well, where'd I go? He sets the whole building to self-destruct. So basically going to kill everybody. Mariko's father, Logan, everybody. Everybody.
That's how you win.
I guess. So after much fighting, Logan and Yukio finally slaughter Shingen. Logan's fighting him underwater. They jump out of the pool. Logan gets a lucky shot in, and then, you know, Shingen's doing like at the end of a Mortal Kombat fight.
Finish him.
And she comes limping out, holding all of her wounds, and she says gladly, and she tosses her chakra.
I think it's chakra.
Whatever the hell it's called. And it hits him right in his main vein, and he falls in the pool and dies. So that was actually a pretty awesome death scene. And, you know, she got that vengeance that she's been looking for all these years.
Now, kids, there's a moral message in here.
Oh.
When you focus on vengeance, you end up getting killed yourself.
Yeah, that's actually true.
So what happens was Yukio got him, but she's been fatally wounded in the process.
So after she kills him, you know, he's like, hold on, save your strength. But she comes out and confesses that she's the one that killed Asano before she dies. She killed him so that she could convince Wolverine to help her get vengeance. So he finds Hideki, and he's holding a gun to Mariko's head, and he's like, you're not going to do it. And he ends up shooting Logan again with one of those damn poison darts. But Logan pulls it out really quick before it can.
The darts have almost like a little delay before an injector kicks in.
Yeah, it goes into the skin, and then like a little button pushes, and like these other prongs come out. So it's a slow release, but it's an automatic release. So Logan kind of grabs the dart before it goes in, and then he throws it at Hideki. Hideki starts shriveling up because he's human. So it literally, this is the same drug he used to kill his dad, basically. Mm-hmm. So he's, you know, he ends up getting all shriveled up and falling in the crypt, but he's got a gun in his hand. Gun goes off. He shoots Mariko.
Yep. He takes her with him.
Mariko's sitting there dying, and, you know, her and Logan share one last romantic kiss before she dies. You know, sad ending that he went through all that to save her, but even she said as she's like fading away, like to herself, like you did free me because I would have had to live a life of servitude under, between my dad and Hideki. At the end, after the final credits, which I didn't watch the first time, I was like, so I finally let it go because I was doing something and I'm like, oh shit, I missed the end. So after the post credits and the final episode, Logan and Kikyo finally start the battle that they've been waiting to have, where they're both at full strength, and then the screen goes black, and I'm like, fuck, I really wish they would have let us see more of the fight.
You know who would have won?
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
I,
Wolverine.
I think he would have won, but I think it would have been close.
It would have probably been entertaining. It probably would have been the best part of this whole stupid series. They wasted 12 episodes on other stuff. They could have just saved one good episode, made one good epic fight, but no.
All right, I actually liked it though.
You're wrong. The only other thing I was going to say is, this is typical Wolverine love story where at the end he always ends up getting screwed. Although usually it's by Sabretooth coming out and killing whoever his love interest is. I mean, let's face it, that's what Sabretooth does.
Brotherly love,
I guess. But I mean, don't let me put you off the series. If you're interested in it, definitely take a look at it. Like I said, I thought it was painfully slow at points, but maybe that's just me.
It is just you. I really loved it.
It could be just me. Maybe I'm impatient. Maybe that's my problem. But I mean, it's definitely worth a look. The Omega Red scene, I mean, that's the episode I think I originally saw on G4 back in the day. When I was flipping through, it was him and Omega Red scrapping.
The first fight or the second fight?
I think it was the first one.
The one at the docks. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's really the episode that I saw. It was right when G4 was going off the air, so it was hard to catch when it was on.
Okay.
Because they kept moving the time around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was real weird. But like I said, that was right as G4 was getting ready to fold as a cable network, I think.
I think this series kind of fits less as a Marvel series, more as like those love story angle animes that people like. So I mean, I loved it because I love Wolverine. I don't care what iteration it is, and Milo's voice was really good.
He did his best Batman. But I mean, all in all, again, if you're interested in it, definitely check it out. See how you feel about it. Let us know. Throw some comments out there.
Yeah,
I'd like to hear from you guys.
Comments on the videos or hit us up on the socials. Like, hey, I watched you guys reviewing stuff. Episode 2. Just wanted to say, I think Kurt was wrong. I expect to see a lot of that. But the series was really good, and Kurt was wrong.
Dirty mother. All right, guys. This has been 2 regular guys reviewing stuff. Thanks.
Have a good night, guys.
Doesn't work. We both do it.
I know.